Wait, can you do that?
Yeah. You didn't know we could count it? Okay, tell them. Are you ready?
We're live now.
Let's go. 5, 4. And we're live. No, start over. Let's do it again. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're live. Wait, we forgot one.
Wait.
You haven't done this before.
You gotta go backwards.
Backwards?
You gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4,
5. Why do we count from 5? Why are we silent? Some people start silent on 3. Some people start silent on 2. Pelham goes silent right away because he knows that I'm not going to listen to him anyway, and he just goes live and said, hey, by the way, you're live. So in case we're live, and in case there's more people watching than just Jefferson, who I saw trolling us there to get started.
Hi, Jefferson.
Hi, Jefferson. This is, I don't know what we're calling this, if we're calling this Spoilers and Swag, if we're calling this a Fireside Chat.
It's a plant-side chat.
Plant-side chat? All right. But I am Nathan Stewart, your host of this first Friday get-together, and this is Mr. Greg Tito, also known as Blame Tito. For those of you who don't know, Kate Welch, I believe she is hang gliding off the...
Right now?
Yeah, Mount Pikachu? No, Tipechu? No, I don't know what she's doing.
How did we not get like that? Why didn't we stream that?
I don't know what she's doing. I really don't. Like, I thought she was gone this week, and I saw her the other day, so no one tells me anything. She just declined to join this stream.
What?
Yeah.
That's not cool.
So then I went over to Greg's desk, and I said, Greg, do you know anyone else who can stream with me? Anyone at all. Anyone will do. Do you have any recommendations? And so then I went and talked to some other people, and I tried to get Pelham to do it, and he said no, and some other people. And so finally, I asked Greg.
Actually, none of that is true. It was actually Pelham who asked me yesterday.
You wouldn't have done it if I asked, would you?
No, I totally would have. But it was Pelham was like, yeah, can you do that? I'm like, sure, yeah, no problem. I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you outsourced it to Pelham.
Yeah.
Which I think is the right choice.
I outsource most stuff to Pelham. Yeah.
That is good.
Pelham, he has my credit card number, my bank account numbers. I trust him with everything.
He cooks breakfast.
I do not know about that. Although you know that I can. Well, did I cook it? We kind of co-cooked it.
We co-cooked.
Greg went camping last week for his 40th birthday, as some people on the Twitters know.
That's
and
true.
Me and my wife and daughter Harper crashed their camp trip. And so we roll in, and they've got the most beautiful camp setup you've ever seen, and a fancy stove and all this stuff. And we insisted on cooking the whole time, but it was all open fire. So Greg has had breakfast cooked for him by my lovely wife, Sandra, which she calls a mountain pie.
Those things were awesome. Yeah, they were like basically 2 irons that went together. And
like a clamshell.
Like a clamshell, right? And it had a long stick on it so that you could put it in the fire.
Yeah.
That was genius. You could basically make it was like a little panini maker, but for camps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you just like literally just shoved it in the fire, and then you had to check it like 10 times.
Right,
like,
flip,
is it going to burn?
Flip,
Is it going to burn? Is it going to burn?
Yeah.
But she took like Pillsbury biscuit dough.
Oh, yeah, those
and
are so
made
good.
Like a empanada, like a breakfast empanada with scrambled eggs and bacon and cheese and butter, and you put it in there, and it comes out, and it was delicious.
It's the best breakfast thing. You did this awesome thing too, which was basically like a pig in a blanket in one of those things. I was like, with like a full hot dog with the croissant
and I wrapped
stuff around it.
Yeah, that was
and
amazing.
The dipping in the mustard. It was good stuff.
I got to be honest, anytime you can take dough and any kind of alternate cooking method, I'm in. Like, have you ever had a deep fryer and like just taken things and battered them and like dropped them? What's the weirdest thing you ever dropped in the...
Pickle. We did a pickle.
Did you batter it or just itself?
Yep, no, we battered it, put the pickle in. It was delicious. We did a...
Whole pickle, though.
Whole pickle, yeah.
Like a big-ass pickle? Or?
Yeah, big-ass one, right?
Yeah.
And then, it was kind of... The problem with the pickle is if they're too big, it's cold in the middle still, and then you don't want to,
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah. She never said that. But we also did a Milky Way, I think, an entire Milky Way bar, breaded and put in there. And then after a while, we were like, oh man, this is so much fun. We could put anything in the deep fryer.
Yeah.
And then we were like, this is when group texts were new. There was like a 48-hour group text after that being like, that was a bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still suffering from whatever we did that night.
No, it's horrible. I know. But the problem is that I think since the beginning of time, I think, if you're going to cook, you're going to try and deep fry a pickle. Yeah.
From the beginning of time.
From the beginning of time.
Before pickles were even invented.
Pickles were not invented. They were discovered? I don't know what you call that. Have I given you my whole thing about coffee?
What's your thing about coffee? Because it was discovered by Caldi in Africa.
Are you telling the truth?
It's true, yeah. A goat herder in Africa, I believe in like the Senegal region of Africa, what is now Senegal, discovered coffee.
Okay, well, here's the thing that blows my mind about coffee. Okay, so let's take, for instance, a coconut or a banana or whatnot.
Yeah.
So a banana, it's growing on a tree. You see a monkey eating it. You get it, you peel it, you eat it. First, maybe you get it and you don't peel it, right? You see it and you're like, oh, it's no good. You peel it. Oh, the inside's great. Coconut, same thing. It comes down, you're like, lick it, no, nothing. Crack it open, the milk's amazing. And they're like, what about this white stuff? Oh, wow, that's good. So I get how the first people would discover these edible things. But on coffee, you've got a bean that comes from this plant that is red and tart and no. So they're like, wow, you know what? What if we roasted it? So then you roast it, you're like, no. Okay, what if we roast it and then grind it and then press boiling hot water through it and like, I don't understand that step process, like how someone looks at that bean and goes, coffee.
Right, that's it.
Yeah.
The legend is, and I know this because we did made a short film about coffee.
Not.
Yeah, it was called The Barista. And part of the script was him telling the story of how coffee was discovered. And it was a goat herder who discovered that his goats were more energetic after eating the berries from those plants. Now, goats eat everything, right?
Yeah.
And so he didn't like really restrict what they were eating, but they were eating this, and then they would jump a lot more. They would be a lot more energetic, and then that's when he started cultivating the coffee plant. And I don't know how it got from that to the actual liquid coffee that we enjoy, but I think it went to Italy. And then that's where it was perfected.
I mean, I totally get how the chocolate-covered espresso beans. I get that.
We're going to talk about D&D at some point, right?
Well, that's the thing about this is that, you know how I like to build the anticipation, and that's kind of my thing, and it's fake, and I like to play with the audience. I kind of feel like we're trolling them.
We are a little bit.
All right, so I've seen a couple things. This is my favorite. So Trey Spoil, or Tress Polly, less coffee, spelled coffee wrong, more spoilers. What about beer? Don't even get me started on beer. Although, strangely, I understand beer more because I heard this, maybe this was in a movie, like a VO somewhere, or maybe this was a quote, but it's like, from the beginning of, again, since the beginning of time, animals will always find a way to anesthetize themselves. Whether it's beating their head against a rock or whatnot, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, we will go to no ends to anesthetize ourselves. Beer.
These are coffee making supplies. Should that be a new tool that you can get from in D&D now? Is the coffee French press supplies that you can get?
Oh, do we not have that? Is that not in the Adventurer's
There's a
backpack?
Brewmaster supplies.
And you assume that's for beer?
That's for beer, right? Or fermenting.
Okay, well, who would like to see that in the next supplement? We're going to have...
coffee roasting as a proficiency?
Yeah, coffee roasting as a proficiency. Actually, I mean, we should probably put that up. Someone should put that up on the DMs Guild now because the Waterdeep, there's the rules basically to be an entrepreneur, right? What if you wanted to start a coffee shop in Waterdeep?
Done.
Except for if you don't know how to make coffee because you don't have a kit or proficiency.
Does coffee exist in the Forgotten Realms?
You know who this would be a question for Ed Greenwood, obviously.
Yeah, right. Or Cernit. We got to get Cernit in here for that.
But I don't think that Cernit is necessarily our expert on the Forgotten Realms. I really think it would be Ed.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's his Forgotten Realms.
It's true.
But there's a great book. There's Elminster's Guide to the Forgotten Realms, and it has recipes and lots of different foods and stuff. So first of all, we'll check there. Secondly, does anybody know, just straight up, if there is? Open a Dragon Bucks. All right. Dragon Bucks. Actually, that was going to be the name of my loan shark, Dragon Bucks. Hey, does anyone notice that Greg, Tito, and I have new coffee mugs?
This is relevant because we have mugs of coffee.
Yes, well, not only that, but I feel like we should open up a raffle already because we got new coffee mugs, and if you notice, there's still 1d6 damage if you hit someone with it, just because of the sheer size, because it's a big mug. It's a 1d8 scalding damage if it's full of hot coffee.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but we just got them back in. It took a while because we had to find the right size and girth, and this is girthy. And last time, if I was holding it like this, you wouldn't see the ampersand. But a friend of ours, Mr. Oman Drawn, he has a saying. Do you know what it is?
What is that?
always be branding.
ABB.
That one's for you, Jerry. That one's for you. That one's for you. All right, so Pelham, what do you think? Let's give two different people, one coffee mug. Okay? If you do not have a coffee mug, and Lauren, you are not in this, because Lauren, I know that you've already got a coffee mug. I see a lot of your shots watching the streams with a coffee mug.
Hashtag D&DT.
Oh, is that what she hashtags?
Yeah, that's what she does. She does a different tea all the time, and she's always using this, or our old version of the mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, hashtag D&D mug.
Coffee shop in Waterdeep. Who's going to open it first?
I'm obviously already working on my plans for my bakery.
Yes.
For Ganache.
Yeah, because you have your character that you've been playing for a long time is a baker.
Well, and I got some serious seed money for it. Doing a one-shot that...
getting one of these?
By getting one of those. Doing a one-shot, I think it was CRISPR. It might have been Matt Mercer. But basically, we had these rich-ass merchants that we were doing something for, and like I saved all their lives. Like it was the most heroic, most anti-Ganache thing I've ever done. For whatever reason, I like jumped into the water, stabbed this thing under the water to release this guy and pulled him back up. I do not know what got into me. It was one of my true neutral moments where I was just like, hell with it. And I jumped in, totally nailed it. Great damage, great rolls and everything. And he was so grateful. Like I got like serious bank specifically to start my bakery.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was it boiling water? Like, did you put in a bagel or two or a donut?
No, it was Kraken-filled water.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah, but there's that.
Yeah.
All right. So, did we give away any mugs, or are we still doing it?
Giveaway 2.
Dos
mugs. Okay. So, first of all, I've got a list because there were a lot of questions, a lot of interest in today's Fireside chat. How many people do we have? 12? 13?
75?
458.
458. Hi, everybody.
God damn it. I got to get rid of Kate and get Tito. Kate's here, we only get up to like 350. Tito's here 458.
Well, there's a lot of anticipation. Your image piqued a lot of interest, I think.
What image?
On the Twitters.
On the Twitters. Well, so first of all, does everyone know why we blame Tito? Does everyone know that? That's not a thing that I started, because we did get a question. I got a question from someone. Who the hell is Tito? Who is this Tito? And to you, I say, this is Tito.
I am.
This is Greg Tito. He has a title. I don't know what it is, but realistically, he runs a bunch of the cool stuff that you see. He writes half the stuff that gets put up on places. He definitely does all of our PR. He was the guy silly enough to run the Stream of Many Eyes. And just all around utility infielder on the team. So we've got a fun crew here, and Tito's one of our senior communications managers.
I think that's the official. Yeah, that's the official.
Yeah,
thing.
we don't really go by titles per se. So Tito's he's our kind of marketing, Marcom guy, jack of all trades. Does the Dragon Talk podcast. Which, by the way, congratulations! I think that last time I checked, you guys were like in 20s of thousands of listeners on a pretty regular basis. So that's pretty hot.
It's all Shelley. I'm going to have to give it up to Shelley. She's the one who holds the glue all together there.
Yeah. I mean, they come for the Tito and stay for the Shelley. Yeah. But a long time ago, I told you, like, no, just give up on the podcast, right? Like, there's too many things. That's not even your real job.
Right.
You've got a bunch of other things to do, and you're like, no, I think there's something here. And I'm like, all right, it's your hair that you're going to lose.
You did. It was like a 6 months or a year into it. You were trying to be like, nah, I don't know if it makes sense.
Cut bait on this. But you didn't listen.
People like it.
And you rarely do. And so that's why we blame Tito. No, the reason we blame Tito, that actually came from IT. We started seeing stickers and the hashtag moving around here because he would sticker the hell out of his computers, and they get mad at him. And I don't know why they were even looking at your computer.
I
that
wasn't
much.
even doing it. I was making the stickers. I was making since I was making the swag. I made these sticker sheets, and then people were coming with their laptops. They were getting like decommissioned and getting new laptops, and they had the stickers all over the laptops. And I think it was.
And
Demetrius.
they were like, "Where do you get these D&D stickers?" And they're like, "Look, blame Tito." Mm-hmm. And so IT started the thing. So I don't blame Tito out of spite or hatred. It's purely out of love, and also because I want IT to like me. So I'm just supporting them.
So you're throwing me under the bus for your tech.
No, really, they threw you under the bus. I'm just holding you under. I'm holding you at bay. I'm not letting you get out.
All right.
Yeah. So
that's cool. I'm
I
comfortable.
Feel like I threw you.
I'm comfortable under the bus. That's the best part about
That's
it.
the best part.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is great too. So that was one of the questions there. I'm going to go through them because I got a list because there were a lot of different questions.
There's a script, you guys. It's all printed out. And it's even branded.
Yeah,
Which is pretty cool.
Ooh.
Always branded.
Oh wait, always be branding here.
Zoom in.
Oh,
I love this camera.
Where's
This
the
thing is
spot?
so cool.
Oh.
See, we got to have it like we're David Letterman style and have like the one place that we always put the
we do.
the thing.
We do. I could just go like that.
It's all down there.
Yeah, right. I could just go like that. And
What is that?
You don't even know what that is, do you? Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So we're not going to talk about that yet. So we blame Tito because, and then the other reason we blame Tito is because as the communication guy, as the person who's trying to orchestrate all the different places and things we tell stuff, oftentimes you're the one who says, Nathan, you can't say that. And I listen sometimes, and I don't sometimes, kind of theme of our relationship. But because you got all these different moving parts and you know that we have this orchestrated plan and because we'd love to share everything with the fans.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we'd like to share them in due time. We don't want to stomp on something that hasn't gotten enough attention. We don't want to share something before it's big.
Like every good dungeon master, you have to create tension, right? You have to like plant the seeds,
Yeah.
So I like that you do that. You plant the seeds of like, where the spoilers are going to go and where things are going to happen,
Yeah.
right? But then it's up to me to be like, all right, and here's the dramatic reveal that
Exactly.
Nathan was spoiling this whole time.
And also, Greg used to be a stage manager in your past life.
That's right.
So I feel like it's kind of like that, right?
A lot of my life does go back to all my theater stuff, for reals. It does feel like I'm putting on a show, even here, and at the Stream of Many Eyes, it definitely felt like I was like, all right, these are my old skill set coming out and making sure everybody had everything they needed and
Well,
was
you give a
putting on
guy a
good show.
headset and he just power hungry. All right, so so Greg sometimes tells me not to spoil stuff. So it's like sometimes you'll see me and there'll be something that I share on my desk or on the stream or whatnot, and you're like, well, why doesn't Nathan talk about that? I mean, it seems kind of conspicuous that he's just holding something up and not saying a word.
That's really purpley.
It's really because Greg told me that I can't talk about it yet because he's got a date. Apparently there's a date that it's going to get shared. And so some people sometimes will ask and they'll be like, are those alt covers? Are those alt covers for the core books? And I say, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
What are you talking?
I don't know. So
They look like really cool, postcards that you would give out to your friends. That's what those are, right?
those are miniature printouts. Those are not full size. That's the scale.
Well, it's a 3x5 card. I feel like that would be a really cool postcard to be like, here's, from with love.
So if you get this postcard,
Wish you were here.
if you get this postcard that says, I've been watching you.
Yeah, no, I got many eyes on you.
Yeah, you're going to be like, thank you? No, you're going to be like, I'm terrified.
Well, you got to know your audience. You
gotta-
can't send that to your grandma unless she plays D&D. But,
Yeah.
right?
I could send it to my grandma. She's completely out of it.
She would dig it.
She'd be like,
She'd be like, this is a
my
pretty design.
My Aunt Jeannie, or my great Aunt Jeannie, my grandma's little sister, she's one of the people who taught me to play D&D.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, 30 years ago. But
Right, so you should send her one. Be like,
I might
I
send her
missed
one.
you.
You know who wouldn't say that? So I can't talk about those. I can't talk about supposedly these alt covers that you guys have been asking about. But I will tell you that Jester David on the Twitter.
Oh, I know him.
Who is that? Do you know Jester?
I know, I just recognize the name.
You know the name?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay, so he said that DEF CON 1 on Ian World raised the perfect, and he didn't put it in air quotes, he put it in asterisks.
Oh yeah, that's like internet parlance for like a description, like how you're saying something.
Okay, so we raised the perfect. No, I don't. Do I say it differently? Do I not read it? Or do I just have to say
It's like emphasis,
he raised
like
the
bolded.
question?
Question.
So I don't say perfect. I just say question perfectly.
Yeah. Yes, like you should say everything perfectly.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to read it. So raise the asterisk perfect asterisk question about these. How many #D&D fans will excitedly buy these books, which they already own? Supposedly these books, if these were going to be books.
If they look like postcards, but okay.
They look like postcards, but they also look like alt covers by Hydro 74.
Stop saying
That could be on a book. I'm just saying, like, if you were looking at the theme, like
if they were bigger.
If they were bigger.
But they're so small right now, so you can't.
Oh, look, I'm looking at my little monster manual.
Are we coming out with miniature versions of our
Miniature
books?
versions of the monster manual. I'm so in.
Yeah, little pocket-sized ones.
Yeah. Okay, so again, back to how many #D&D fans will excitedly buy these books, which they already own. That was in whatever those are, but have different covers, but complain about being asked to pay for digital access on #D&D Beyond. And at first, I read this question, and I thought it was kind of a slam on us for making the alt covers. But as I read it again, and Jester David or DEFCON 1, you guys can direct message me and point this out, because the context wasn't in there. I just read it. But then I was looking at it again. I'm like, well, maybe it's not actually. Maybe it's kind of a slam on the community. And I don't mean that in a bad way, not like slamming our community and whatnot, but just saying like, hey, lots of times people complain about having to buy the digital ones again when they already own the paper, but then they'll buy another paper version over here just because it's got this cool cover. So I read those questions, and I don't know, the kind of the good or bad. I don't know the context in the question, but I do want to explain some of our thought process on these things and some of the challenges, because it seems like these are common themes that come up in terms of, hey, you're making me buy this again when I've already bought it, and then you see something like this, and you're like, oh my God, why don't you guys come out with these in the beginning? Like, great, you come out with these now. I already own all those books. Who are you making these for?
Yeah.
And therein lies the rub, right? We all play D&D. We all love D&D now. Luckily for you and I, we don't have to buy all this stuff. So we're not a great example of what the consumers face. But I do have other things that I'm fans of. Mike Merrill's is a huge Warhammer fan. Buys a ton of stuff there and whatnot. So, I think we get fandom.
Right.
And I think we get love for a particular thing on here. And so I don't think that it's a surprise to anyone to say that when or if we were making alt covers of the core books, that, maybe would release this holiday. The
more you say it, the more it becomes true. The postcard version of our books.
If we were doing that, we're not doing that out of any kind of meanness. We're not doing that like to make you spend more money, and we're not trying to, get all your hard-earned money and stuff like that. It's just sometimes these come up and they're cool, and we're just like, oh my God, that's awesome. And I wish, in some cases we would have thought about it earlier, or that the opportunity would have come up earlier. But they don't. It's just kind of this naturally evolving process when we challenge ourselves, like, what other cool stuff could we do? What could we make? How could we delight the fans more? You know what I mean? Like, how could we, figure out ways to, deliver more cool stuff to the fans? And so that stuff comes up. And so when we do these things, I just want you guys to understand we do it from a place of love. We do it from this would be really cool, and, we should totally do it. And we understand if some people don't want to buy them again because they already own the books. I totally get that. But at the same time, some people like put these books on their shelves and really like the collection of it and like having it.
I remember hearing from people who, liked the Volo's Guide to Monster covers and things like that, but they were like, but I don't want to get it because it looks different from all of my other books, including the core rule books, right? On the shelf, right? The spines will look different, right? So, I understand that problem as a collector and thinking about that. So this is perhaps you can tape these postcards onto your core rule
be
books
like
that you already own.
Yeah, oh, nice. But so I just want to explain that, when we do this, we don't, we're not trying to get you to buy something that you already own, but we understand that you probably do already own it. Maybe some fans haven't gotten it yet. There's been a lot of new D&D fans to the hobby in the last few years, so some people haven't gotten it.
And as you mentioned, it's going to be in the later half of the year, so you might have a friend who you might want to get into the game, or is expressing
for
some interest.
someone, or something special, something to commemorate your love. So that's why and that also relates to D&D Beyond or Fantasy Grounds or Roll20. I mean, Roll20, didn't they just do their
Character Mancer?
Their Character Mancer?
Yeah.
Right. So there's all these things over here, and you're like, oh, but I already own that content in my thing. We totally get that. I understand, and our goal is not to try and get you to buy a bunch of stuff you've already gotten before. But sometimes these partnerships and these opportunities and these development timelines, they don't align, or publishing realities don't align where we could bundle them together or do something like that. Often people say, well, if I already own the physical one, why don't I just get the digital? And it's like, how would we do that? I can't put a code in the book because we don't shrink wrap the books. We don't shrink wrap the books mainly because we want you to be able to look through the books and
on the shelf,
check them out and look them
right?
out on the thing. The other reason is because, in terms of the shipping to all the different places and how they get torn up anyway, and then it feels like you're buying something that, so we try to make a really durable, outside version that people can thumb through and look at, right? So then you can't put a code.
It's a scale problem for us as well, right? So but then, I always think about it as a format thing, right? Like we're just the thing that Best Buy is not selling CDs anymore, like actual physical CDs. And I'm like, whoa, really? That's crazy, right? So, but like when things change and things go to different formats, you're going to have to purchase it. It's for the convenience of where you want to get the content.
Yeah. So we're always looking at how to make it a better deal, better access and stuff for the fans. But we always make a choice. We don't want to not do something because we've already missed that boat, so we'd rather just put it out there and let the players and the folks choose for themselves. However, I would like to point out one thing. Not everyone knows that if you have a binding problem with your book, we know that your PHB and your Monster Manual are probably well loved. We also know that we were printing a ton of those in the beginning, and that we had a couple challenges on some runs on quality control and stuff, and we've seen some binding problems, especially if you got some early stuff on there. So these if we did any kind of cool alt covers for core books and stuff like that, that is not a grab to try and get your money because your player's handbook's falling apart. If your player's handbook's falling apart, if one of the products that you have bought that's published by Wizards of the Coast, then please contact Wizards_help on Twitter, so at Wizards_help. Contact them. They'll give you a self-addressed stamped envelope to send back your old one and give you a new copy. So no charge to you. We try to make it as easy as possible. We don't mind at all. Matter of fact, we are a little embarrassed when something you spend $50 on kind of falls apart and doesn't last the time. So it's a pretty no questions asked kind of thing. So if you do have a problem on that, don't hesitate. We don't mind at all. It's super easy. It should be pretty convenient for you. You are without your book for a little bit of time. Sorry. But as quick as possible and no charge, no headache, no hassle.
And I think the best part, even though you're right, the customer service people here at Wizards of the Coast are awesome. And one of my favorite parts about all the responses is that they're in character. They usually pick a certain, whether it's a gnome or a goblin or something like that, or they will blame the problems on some kind of in-world thing that happened with your book. And the interactions themselves are all in character and D&D specific. So I think that's pretty awesome. Why are you blaming me for that, Pelham?
All right.
Just whenever I talk, it just goes to that. I understand.
All right. Someone on there, I couldn't see the name very closely. Otacris, I couldn't see the name, asked if we'll do that for first edition Player's Handbook. And yes, if you send your first edition Player's Handbook, care of Nathan Stewart, Wizards of the Coast, I will send you a 5e Player's Handbook that's perfectly bound and nice and super awesome. No questions asked. Just...
I'm not sure that's what he was asking.
Let's do that. All right. Other things. Okay, so a lot of questions on there. Let me let me kind of talk about what the questions are that came up, the themes. So 1 or 2 questions around new settings, a couple of questions around settings, some questions wanting to know settings.
There's a 4th question that was about settings.
Well, Dwezel Dang wants to know if there's any campaigns in the near future not on the Sword Coast. I don't think that was a settings one. That might have been just geography
different
one.
parts of Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions about Eberron, that's a setting. Kryn, that's actually a world in a setting. Spelljammer. So saw a lot of those. Chaotic Fabulous asked about the possibility of a Magic the Gathering D&D setting book. So I think the theme here is there's a lot of setting questions. Also got a couple for hints to new adventures and new books in 2019. That was definitely one. There were some questions about Waterdeep, Dragon Heist, and Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Definitely some questions there. Some questions about...
We can talk about those because those are announced.
Yeah, but I think they want us to spoil the stuff in there.
Oh, okay. You if you go into Undermountain, I think you're going to die.
Spoiler!
Spoiler alert, I think there's a lot going on there.
Okay. They want to talk about new race options in Mike's Happy Fun Hour. And I don't know because he never tells me anything.
No, I never know what it is. He's just going to be like, I'm going to work on this today.
Yeah. And then Dave the Tentacle wants the Beastmaster to have a flump companion.
Are you sure that's not just Alpha Stream in disguise?
I don't know, but I kind of feel like I actually have the power to make that a reality. Like,
Sure.
I feel like I can make the flump be an option for an animal companion for the Beastmaster.
Yep.
And I'm kind of interested in wielding that power.
I mean, an Underdark Ranger, based in the Underdark, would
that
totally
makes
have
sense.
a flump. The only thing that flumps have a little bit of sentience too, so it has to be like a more of a familiar type situation more than
But don't animal companions have?
Yeah, no, I guess they do, but it's not, it's more like a beloved pet that has some extra pet plus.
Wouldn't that kind of be like a flump?
But yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Someone wanted to know about the 2019 event, specifically where's it going to be?
The stream of blah, blah, blah.
Will there be hats and pancakes? Now, do you know why they asked about hats?
Why do they ask about hats?
Do you know who it was?
No.
Oregon Pink Rose.
Oh, but he got one, right? Didn't he get one?
I don't think he got a hat, but I got to meet him. It was pretty nice. So he was at the Stream of Many Eyes.
Yeah.
Got to meet him, and I asked him, and it was apparently some stream you were wearing some hat that he couldn't find anywhere, and it started becoming like an inside joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually brought a hat in my bag, in my luggage.
For Oregon Pink
Yeah,
Rose?
in case. But then For Fans by Fans had hats for sale, so I was like, okay, I'm not.
Nice.
We will have some available.
Okay, so that's kind of the big list of questions that I saw. So if you have other questions, you can drop them here on the Twitter chat. But those are kind of the general themes. So I am going to start in the middle. Hints for new adventure books in 2019. Pelham, do we have any hints for maybe a new 2019 D&D book?
Wait, what?
What? Do you have an image for me? Maybe something that looks like it would be, maybe me joking around about 2019? I'm going to give you a hint. Not that one, not that one.
The file name ends in JPG? Or does it?
There we go, that one. All right, so here's a hint for 2019. This is the book that we're probably releasing.
How long did it take you to make the image?
Like 2 seconds. That one was so easy.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
Guide to something.
I tease. Okay, the reason I teased on that one is because I'm not going to tell you about any books in 2019. That's too far.
That's way too far,
We got
guys.
too much stuff already in 2018 that you don't know about. There's too much fun stuff still going on, so we're definitely not going to talk about new adventures and books in 2019.
You'll find out about that at the stream of
So
blank.
the funny thing on the Stream of Many Eyes, it got that name pretty early. Like we were just throwing around names pretty early, and it just stuck the whole time.
And
right?
I don't think anybody, and maybe we can reveal it now, but the whole point was that it was going off of the Sphere of Annihilation pun we did for Stream of Annihilation.
Yes.
And we're like, oh, it's a magic item that people will recognize, but they won't really know what it was. And Hallister Blackcloak has his
Robe
cloak
of Many Eyes.
is the Robe of Many Eyes.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was for Xanathar, but
Which we knew would be a
Yeah.
red herring that people would go for.
But we definitely named it after the Robe of Many Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Pelham, you have a couple other things in there. So one of the things on Waterdeep in Dungeons of the Mad Mage is someone was asking about Jarl Axl. I think Beardimus Prime, I love Beardimus Prime, asked about Jarl Axl and the new Dragon Heist. And while I don't want to spoil much, I did get Chris Perkins to let me share this. So if you leave that up a little bit longer, Pelham. So that is a beautiful illustration of Jarl Axl.
I love how purpley it is.
And that piece actually has 3 artists. That was that's a piece by Tyler Jacobson, Sean Woods, and Richard Witters. So kind of your all-star cast.
Whoa, the 3 of them.
Yeah, and it's because originally it was a rough black and white concept Tyler did in an art push. And then Sean added color to it early because WizKids was making a mini for it and needed colors and I think 3/4 shots and turnarounds and stuff.
Yeah.
And then later on, when we decided to put it in the book officially, I think Richard tightened it up and finished it. But it's a beautiful picture. You see his stats there. I left off almost all the other things because I didn't want to give away a bunch of stuff because there's a lot of, I don't know what you want to call it, not hidden stuff in there, but I think there's a lot of fun surprises in Dragon Heist that you kind of want to experience over time or seasons.
Well, and the fun part of Jarl Axl is that he's a walk-in closet of magic items.
Oh.
So we don't know which ones are going to be in play during Dragon Heist or not. And
well, I can tell you one that I'm sure because I saw the hat and also because I read the stats. But he's got his hat of disguise.
Yes.
Which I love.
I do too. It's one of the best items in D&D.
Did you ever see that picture that Chris Perkins flashed on the interwebs of a pirate in basically a diaper and a feast on a boat that was a callback to an old Sean Connery movie?
Zardoz, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Every single time we have that artwork up in our office right now, and I always point people out to it, being like, and look, we have Zardoz, which is very important.
When I look at that, I'm like, is that Jarl Axl? Because in his hat of disguise, it could be him, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Although maybe not. Maybe it's just some crazy ass pirate. I don't know.
I think it's some crazy ass pirate that maybe is affiliated with Jarl Axl from Luskin, right?
Oh yeah. I guess the pirate town of Luskin. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's for you, Beardimus Prime. I know you wanted more stuff from Jarl Axl, but we got to just kind of drip it out a little bit because it's way more fun.
He's a great character.
And then someone asked about new unpublished monsters and tell us about them. And again, I don't want to spoil too much, but I do want to share the Scaladar. Is that how you say it? Have you seen this one?
Scaladar.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at those wings.
This is a new monster. This is an illustration done by Leisha Hannigan. And it just is scary to me. And the reason it's scary to me is if you played in Tomb of Annihilation, you had those little winged monkeys.
Yeah.
And at first they didn't seem too scary to me, and then I played the module, and then I'm like, damn it!
Yeah.
These guys can... And so I look at this, and it's
claws.
oh, he doesn't seem that bad, but I don't know what his... So the unknown scares me, so he scares me.
I like that those wings are so bat-like.
Yeah.
It really does feel like something that could, be in a world, right? And then he's just, so as if a bat had a horrible goblin-type monster in the center.
Yeah, so that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
I did not show, we don't have a picture for it, but there's a lava child.
What's a lava child?
I don't know, it's down in Undermountain.
Is it a child of lava?
I don't know, it looks freaky as... I didn't put it up. I didn't put it up because I actually thought we'd lose viewers.
People would be like, no, I'm checking out of this.
Yeah. It's just because it's so... I don't know. It's when you have scary kid stuff, horror kid stuff or whatnot, it just somehow gets a nerve on me.
Is that what happens at the end of that Pixar short film Lava? A lava child is created?
What's the Pixar film Lava?
Oh, you see that was before Inside Out, I think. But it was about the volcanoes who are in love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's called Lava.
That's
so they sing a
cute.
song called Lava.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, but that's what's created, is a little lava child.
Yeah. Okay, so there we got some spoilers there. Now, I'm going to give you guys a weird spoiler. And this is a weird spoiler because you don't know you want it, but you do. You don't know that it's going to be cool, but it is. And also, I'm just really excited about it.
Wait,
so
did I bet this?
What?
Did I bet this?
Did you vet this? Hang on, we're going to have a side conversation with Greg. Is it okay to talk about the San Diego Comic-Con stuff?
I don't think so. No, we shouldn't. We should hold up until after San Diego Comic-Con to talk about it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, we're back. We just had to do a little sidebar.
That was close.
Hey, Pelham, can you edit out the audio and post?
Already done.
Already done. Cool. All right. So here's the deal. San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. Actually, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks from yesterday, San Diego Comic-Con. And I have a love-hate relationship with San Diego Comic-Con. I hate crowds of people. And San Diego Comic-Con has a ton of them.
That's
so
like
many people.
400,000 people
So many people.
in a convention center.
Oh my gosh, so many people.
You like camping, though, so you should love all the lines.
There's no lines in camping.
But I mean, you have to camp out
Oh.
in the lines for Hall H if you want to get.
You got that. I thought you were just meaning like public bathrooms or something, and I'm like, that's the least favorite part about camping. That's not the good part. So it's a love-hate because I don't really like crowds, but I do just love the vibe, and I love what the energy that the people have, and it's just a really great gathering of geeks and nerds, and so you're amongst your people, but
Right.
there's just too many of my people. So I always want us to do something there, but I never have the right stuff. So this year, we're kind of dabbling in San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll probably have some more like official messaging next week up on the website and do some stuff. But you 12 on the Twitch have tuned in to get spoilers, so we will give you spoilers. Dungeons and Dragons is partnering with Bait, and for those of you who don't know Bait is in it's a cool, I call it a cool kids store. It's like a sneaker shop. I don't know if you guys know this, but I like sneakers.
He does like sneakers.
These are my fancy sneakers. You can tell because they're shiny.
These are my one pair of sneakers.
Your wife told me you have two. I have 30, and I by far am not a big sneaker guy compared to my friends. But I love
Chris Herb.
But I love stores like Bates. And then a guy named Eric is, I don't know, in charge of Bait, and I think that he also might be a part owner in, why am I blanking? Undefeated.
What's that?
Oh, that's another cool kids store. They did a cool Halo 5 cross promo thing.
Oh, in your former life.
No, that was while I was here. I just saw it on. They do some cool crossover stuff. They have random kicks that drop there. I think Bait had some really sweet ass Ghostbuster shoes that they did for Stranger Things season 2.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So anyway, they're a cool kid shop is what I call them. I think there's about 10 or 12 around the United States, and there's one down in San Diego. And a couple of years ago, they did an awesome Transformers collab, and so they made the cool Bumblebee shoes that you might have saw on there, and they also had the they're not Moneys, I don't think, but the little bear blanks that they make statues out of. But they made giant ones of the mini ones. So anything mini is cool, but if you make a mini thing giant, then it's cool too.
Right, yeah, it's like Boo, it's miniature giant space hamster.
Exactly. So I think they made there. So I know this place for a while just because they're a cool shop and they definitely, kind of trendy stuff and everything. So we're doing a collaboration with them. And so what that means, and Hillary is coordinated. So Hillary Ross, she's our licensing manager, so she works on all this stuff. So she
Shout
knows.
out to Hillary.
Yeah. So she knows this stuff, but I don't know all of it, so I'm going to get it mostly right, but some wrong. So we're doing a collaboration with them. So you do a capsule, like a space cap? No, like a
pop-up?
I don't know. I think a pop-up's like a whole store, but so we've got like a group.
Oh, capsule within a store. Yeah.
So we got like a curated group of merchandise that we're making, like exclusive Bait San Diego Comic-Con Dungeons and Dragons merch. Okay, so some shirts, some hats, some colored pencils, and we'll talk about the colored pencils in a second. Also, I think there's going to be some training knives and swords.
Oh.
But these are full size. I think it's like a bastard's order, 1.5 hand.
Careful with your hand motions.
Full size. Damn it, the internet already caught me.
You probably already got some. Can we Photoshop that
No
now,
memes.
please?
But full size, but out of a black hard rubber so that it's safe and you're not going to take anyone's heads off.
Yeah.
But
nice.
co-branded, of course.
Really? I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. It's really cool. But one of the shirts, this is one of my favorite shirts. Pelham, can you show this? I don't know how if it's gonna exactly land like this or if Hillary's made any tweaks, but that's the shirt.
Oh. That's pretty cool.
Right? And I don't know if it'll be in white. These are just all the
mock-ups.
The approval mock-ups and everything like that. But it's the old school, line drawn, original Monster Manual Beholder. So leaning into some of our cool stuff. And then also there's going to be a cool Todd James thing because this is where we're going to sell the comic books for the first time. So
the coloring book.
Coloring book, sorry, not comic book, coloring
Yeah.
book. So he, right here, is
I
wearing
got
a
it.
Todd James original shirt that we did a couple of years ago.
Speaking of beholders.
Yeah, so Todd James is a legendary New York artist, and he loves D&D. He's a longtime D&D player, loves D&D. Some of you guys might have played with him at GaryCon. He was at GaryCon this year.
He did an event at the 20-sided store in Brooklyn as well.
Oh, nice.
Right?
With
Where
Lauren.
And he had his own adventure. Remember that? That's
Oh,
where I think
yeah.
his shirt came
That's
from.
right. So he's been a part of the family here for a while, and we've been talking about doing this coloring book for ages. A, because my wife loves coloring books, and B, because the coloring books we've done in the past have been more kind of taking art that was already existed and trying to put it in a coloring book format.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that we've done an original coloring book of all original art specifically for it. So, Pelham, can we go through a couple of those images? Let's go a little slower on these. So I'm going to show you guys a couple images on here.
Oh, I love that one. Is that a manticore?
That's a Manicore, which, come on, that's just as awesome. And you see, I think there's an orc up in the front on the left. That's a great one. The hag.
Oh, those are the 3 hags, right?
Yeah. A coven of hags, if you will.
Oh, man, that reminds me so much of Deborah Ann Wall's game from Stream of Many Eyes.
I know. And then a mimic.
Mimic.
You've got to throw the mimic in there. But this is one of the reasons that I love Todd is because, like, the mimic, everyone does mimics, oftentimes your chest. Not many of them have them, like, midway through eating an adventurer. I mean, like, the legs sticking out is just priceless. So the whole coloring book is just great spins on monsters from the Monster Manual. We went in, and I want to say we took about 30 or 40 monsters. Oh, flumps. That one's for you, Alpha Stream.
Yay!
Yeah, there's flumps, and more flumps.
I do love a
that
flump.
one's flumptastic.
I love all the negative space in there too. So you're like, it's in the Underdark because it's got some black spaces in there.
Well, I think there might also be like a Stanley the Roper in the side there, right?
Oh, there might be.
Yeah. So he's done a fantastic job, and to be honest, I couldn't have stopped him if I wanted to. Like, he would have made this coloring book with or without us. So we said, we might as well do it together.
Can I spoil something? Is that like he wasn't like turning in art before an agreement was?
Ixnay on the don't do any of the stuff. So I don't know what he had drawn ahead of time, but I know we've been talking about this for a long time, and this was a labor of love for him, and so he has poured in a ton on this, and I think that every page shows it's very handcrafted. And then to make things better, Adam Lee got all the pages done, and then wrote up little blurbs and stories after the fact in that true kind of Adam Lee
I love that
style. And so it's just a little blurb for maybe someone who doesn't know all the D&D stuff, right? And so it kind of teaches, but in a fun way. So it's really lighthearted. It's really fun-spirited.
It's like a sentence, 2, 3 at the most, but it gets across what's happening in that image in a really great way, and also gives some lore and some other stuff in there, right?
Yeah, it's just like it's bite-sized. And Pelham, show the cover real quick. Did I put the cover up there? So this is what it would look like if you colored it in via Todd James style. You can do it your own style, of course. That's one of the other things I love about the coloring book, is it's perfect for D&D, right? Because of the fact that it's just like, look, you make it, beholders are purple. They are now.
Yeah.
They wear lipstick. Of course they do. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just weird pigment. But so you do you on here, and Todd colored one of the pages, just the front, for us to show you how it can be done, but the rest of them are.
I like how that conveys too, like, okay, this is yours now. You can color it in however you want.
You color however you want.
Yeah. And he's going to be at San Diego.
So that's the thing. So we're gonna do our collaboration with Bait. So we're gonna have some T-shirts. We're gonna have some hats. We're gonna have we got like a little branded set of colored pencils and sharpener, so that you can buy the Todd James coloring book and the D&D colored pencils as a combo at Bait. So those are the first places those are going to be on sale. I think that they're going to be on sale at Comic-Con like a month before anywhere else. We're going to sell them there and then not sell them again anywhere for a month. And the reason that we're able to do that is because I'm the boss and asked for a case of them to be sent, or a pallet of them to be sent to. But they're coming straight from the printers. Like,
oh, they're not even going.
Shauna's not even going to see them. Cinda's not seeing them. Like, they're going. Cinda gave the exception to just let boxes of them go from the printer to Bait.
Those are basically like the proof copies that you guys will have.
That we're going to sell everyone.
Yeah, they're going to sell to everyone, right?
Yeah. So if you're in San Diego, if you're you don't have to have Comic-Con pass.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
It's in the Gaslamp district. It's
in the
outside
Gaslamp,
the
about
convention center.
5 blocks away from the convention center. So basically, Dungeons & Dragons is going to be hanging out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a little bit on Sunday. So that's 17th. Is that the first day, Palin?
I think so.
Yeah, so I'll double check, but it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for sure. So it's us. It's the Bait store. Bait's doing a bunch of cool exclusive gear that they're going to drop there. We'll share more on that next week.
19th is the Thursday.
19th, 20, 21, and then a little bit on 22. Also, for all of you Satine Phoenix fans out there, she's going to be hanging out, Minglin, being our D&D community manager, if you will.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of technically, officially her role now.
Right.
So she's going to be playing that role.
Welcoming people,
Yeah.
getting them in.
Having swag, having stickers, maybe some dice,
Maybe some mugs.
maybe some mugs, maybe some Water Davian
Gold dragons.
Ooh, oh, here, I'll do it here.
That's cool.
So there we go. So that is that. So you know what this feels like? This feels like time for another raffle, Palin.
Ooh, what are you going to give away? One of those?
5 different people get a gold dragon. So if you
That's great.
want a gold dragon, now this is not legal tender in the United States, but if you were ever in Waterdeep,
You can tip the
it's worth
yawning portal.
It's worth a gold piece.
Yeah, right?
No, I wouldn't tip it with that. That's way too big a tip.
You're right, that is way
Yeah.
too big. But if you were in one of the more expensive establishments.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. My bakery.
Can I tell you a little personal trivia about San Diego Comic-Con and Satine Phoenix? The last time I attended, I was there with Satine repping her D&D show back in the day. That was
Get
like
the hell out.
7, oh gosh, I was 8 years ago now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
No kidding.
yeah.
I didn't know you
in
and
a former
Satine-
life.
I didn't know you and Satine go back that far.
That's right, yeah, with her show at the Escapist.
No kidding.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, so I have fond memories of hanging out with Satine. That's the first time I met her face to face at San Diego and just, doing it up.
Small worlds.
Yeah.
And then for those of you guys who don't know, the reason that Greg and I even met, and the reason that Greg probably came to work for D&D is because we have a mutual friend, Job.
That's right.
He used to be the PR guy over at Telltale Games, and he and I worked together at Rockstar ages ago, and we've been friends. Him and his wife Elle and Sandra and I are friends, and he called me, and before it was even official, or before everyone knew about the kind of change in size over there, and said, "Hey, I think you should hire this guy." And I'm like, you know what? Come to find out, I do need a PR guy, and then we hired Greg. And then
the rest is history.
And then they moved out to Seattle, and I apologize to his wife every time I see her. I'm like, I dragged you across country so you could hang out in this rainy part of the country, but she doesn't seem to mind. She seems to like it. The girls seem to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is like probably 3 months before that all happened, my wife was like, I think I would like to live in the Pacific Northwest. So when that all offer came in, I was like, guess what?
Guess what?
You get your dream to come true.
You get your dream.
Whether you like it or not.
Okay, so we will go in. So everybody, settings. Here is the deal on settings. I promised that we would do more settings this year.
We're going to change up the way we do typesettings. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're going to go all Comic Sans Paris.
We've had a special Comic Sans font design for us.
Yeah, and Enu, E-N-N-U-I, asked if there's a possibility an evil campaign supplement. I don't think so. Not in the near future that I can see. Like I said, I saw a lot of questions about Eberron, Kryn, Spelljammer, and I know that you guys think that I'm spoiling settings today, but I'm not because I never said that I was. I just said that we were gonna announce some new setting information in July, and I also said that some of our new setting stuff would be out this year for you. So it's not even a 2019, so it's 28 things. So I did not ask Greg if I can tell this, but July 23rd, is that the day?
Yeah.
So July 23rd is the day. That's when the official announcement is going to get made.
Unless it gets pushed.
No, I'm announcing it on the 23rd no matter what. If you guys don't announce it on the 23rd, I'm announcing it on the 23rd.
Fine.
So you have to wait until the 23rd. And that sucks, and mainly because a lot of you guys came thinking that I was going to announce it today, and I didn't stop you from thinking that, but I also kind of didn't lean into it as hard as I could have. But the reason being is because we do have plans around it. It's not just to be a tease, as someone said on there, or to draw out the suspense. It's because we have a really curated plan for rolling out what we think is some new setting opportunities for our fans. And the timing is really particular because we want to make sure that it's done right and make sure that you guys have some fun. And I'll tell you that, today is the 8th, today's the 7th, the 6th, the 6th. I don't know what day it is.
Time keeps on slipping in the future.
Time keeps on
slipping.
Okay, so that means you guys have 17 days that you have to wait, and I apologize on that. But once you get the announcement, you won't have to wait too much longer for some cool stuff to play with right away. That's the only thing I'll say is that there will be some instant payoff, if you will. Some really, it's not like we're going to make an announcement and then you're going to have to wait a ton of time to play with anything. Now, that's not to say that there won't be some extra cool stuff, but I'm just saying that it's not like we announced and then you have to wait and wait. It's going to be fun. We've definitely planned it out. We've coordinated with several different parties to make sure some cool stuff is in the mix. And we have more stuff in 2019 planned, so this is just the beginning.
We've only just begun.
We've only just begun.
Yeah, crap, I got to write that press release now, don't I?
Yes. Now, question. Theoretically, if we were going to enlarge these postcards,
which
I'm just saying,
that's a big undertaking.
If we were going to enlarge these postcards, when would people know more details about that?
Potentially the 16th
of July.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's 10 days away.
Right. So there's going to be some eking out of some fun stuff you might know more about in this month.
And I've heard that these. I just stole a couple of visuals from Shauna's desk. There were other visuals to steal.
There are?
What?
I haven't seen them yet. Do they involve hand-drawn quotes that Shauna was always doing?
Oh my God, I would love to. Okay, so I'm looking at my list. I'm looking over here, poster stamps.
Yeah, we haven't taken a lot of questions from the chat. Is there anybody in there that wants to?
Okay, well, I do want to answer one of the other questions. I think it was from Oregon Pink Rose, the 2019 event. Where's it going to be? We don't know yet, but right. I will tell you that we loved being down in LA. We had a really great access to a lot of our streamers and influencers, and I think that if we go back down there and do it again, we're only going to have more. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely the place to beat. I don't want. It's not locked in yet. It's obviously a year out. I'm just going to tell you right now. Yes, we're doing another stream next year. Might not be the exact same weekend or timing or whatnot, but I would say,
But most likely, I mean, we've kind of locked in that.
In that area. I think we want to go a little earlier next year.
You think so?
I'd like to be more like at the end of May.
Okay.
I'd like to be like 2 weeks earlier than we were.
All right.
But there's no spoiling anything there. We're gonna do it again next year. We loved it. It was so much fun. Thought the entertainment was great. We thought the influencers and the energy and the great way to reveal the stuff. We loved bringing Waterdeep to life.
Right.
That was cool.
We're definitely going to do a musical next year.
We're definitely going to talk about that, but that's not.
Well, you can't confirm that now?
That's not as high on the list. I mean, that's just like saying, we're going to have, some kind of shell-shaped ship that we're going to build next year. But it's like, maybe that's it's an option. It's not the thing.
Oh, man. We're going to have it's going to be a pirate musical? Like Pirates of Penzance? I like this. We got lots of people.
Can we have alt art slipcovers? You know what? I'm going to write that down.
That is a really cool idea.
I'm going to write that down on the list of things to try to do.
Now, alternately, you can print out small miniature versions of it and do like a mosaic on your brown paper bag slipcover that you make.
Oh, I used to do those in school.
Yeah.
Okay, so whoever asked that, it's going too fast for me to see.
But you get 3 experience points.
But I will just tell you, on the alt art slipcovers, I'm going to try and do it officially and see if we can get some real slipcovers done. But if we can't, then I'm definitely going to have Emmy zhuzh something up that people can download
and print out
for their own.
I like that idea too.
Yeah. Okay. Other questions? Can we get a pocket-sized player's handbook? That's Judge Ender. Judge Ender, I will just tell you, I have my pocket-sized player's handbook. It's called D&D Beyond. And I know that felt like I was, marketing shill, but I promise you, like, I pull it out as a compendium all the time. I don't just use it as character building.
Right, and not just as compendium too, but I'm playing in a game with Mike Merles that's starting right now, so we gotta shut this down. But I didn't have a character, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do the random first level character, and we were talking about it right before we started.
And what do you got? You got Mrs. Beezer,
I got
the
my
gnome paladin?
Forest gnome paladin. And then we just started coming up with the name of it. It was Missa Folkor.
That's right.
Yeah, she's badass.
Question, will the next campaign book have an official pronunciation guide for the city Sigil? Which I think they're trying to bait me into saying that it's a Planescape campaign guide,
Right.
so that's funny.
It's pronounced GIF, not GIF.
Yeah, it's pronounced just like it's spelled.
The creator of the GIF pronounced it as a GIF.
Oh, I got a question here. What do you know about the continuing Red War?
Oh.
So do you know about the Red War?
Yeah, no, the Red War, I always get the epic or open wrong. I think it was an epic on Friday at Origins, and people were super excited about it.
Yeah, but they think that it's kind of run its course.
Who thinks?
The peoples, especially the people
The
at
fans
Origins.
or the Adventurers League admins?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. But all I know is that I've been talking to Chris Lindsay, and the Red War continues.
Cool. I think you need to play Zaz Tam. I think that's how the conclusion needs to go. Is that?
Rudy is Durnan Tales from the Young alt cover. We might look into that one.
Ooh, that would be great as a slipcover, even if it's just for funzos.
Any plans for future table accessories like new dungeon tile sets?
Ooh.
Yes. I don't know all the details on that, but yes on the sets, yes on new accessories. I got to play, I should have brought it in here today, but I got to play with the new life counter. So our Dragon Heist dice set comes with a dice, and we heard you loud and clear. It's got 2 D20s, so that's better. It's in a clear clamshell pack in there, so you can see all the dice on the shelf. It doesn't solve our problem with putting marketing images up that might not look exactly like the...
But at least you'll be able to see exactly
But yeah,
what
if you're in the store and you see it, like you can see it first.
Right.
But the best thing is it's got a life counter in there, and so we borrowed the Magic life counter, and then we rebranded it with the ampersand and made it. But if you've got a character with under 100 hit points, it's so much better than scratching and changing your temp hit points and all the stuff on your sheet. So you're just literally doing your spin down. It's got
That's
2 dials
cool.
that spin, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we're always looking for new accessories, new accessory partners. Our friends at Gale Force 9, our friends at WizKids, Beetle and Grimm. I have a feeling that, like, when we fast forward, once Beetle and Grimm launches their loot crates, their platinum box, once they get those going and really kind of get in the rhythm, I think there'll be separate pullouts. I think there'll be individual things that kind of catch on, be like, oh, we should have these for all the, different ways. I think they just have to get their feet under them, and then they'll find more cool stuff to do.
Oh, right, like kind of like build your own box kind of things. That's kind of
just like maybe like this. This was everyone's favorite thing from this box, and we're not going to redo this box. But this is an evergreen item or an evergreen thing that's an accessory for your table that could, and sell that separately maybe. I think that they're going to quickly find that there's some things that shouldn't go away with just that storyline.
Right.
You know what I mean? That
could be evergreen.
That could be evergreen,
Yeah, all right, I like that idea.
All right, other questions on here. New D&D cartoon when? I don't know. That one we're working on always. We're talking to people a lot about it. It's near and dear to my heart, but we don't have an answer.
I mean, there's Emmy Award-winning Sam Riegel.
That's true. Oh, that was good. Also, this is not a question in here, but if you guys notice my awesome Death Saves shirt, if you were going to ask the question, when can you buy your cool Joe Manganiello Death Save stuff, the answer is, I don't know. But I do know that he's been working closely, again, with Hillary on designs and all that kind of stuff. So Death Saves is an officially licensed D&D streetwear line. And so, he's been putting a lot of hints and teasers and, sign up on Death Save's website and Instagram. So definitely keep an eye on that and find out when you're going to be able to get your own gear. I know that it's kind of unfair of us to be wearing gear that regular Joes can't get. Regular Joes. Nice.
Yeah.
Although that was on sale. That was on sale at Mishka for a long time. You could get it. Anyone could get it. Joe's stuff will be on sale for everyone to get, so I don't feel that bad.
Right. Somewhere in Southern California, you might be able to get it.
I think he's selling them on I don't know what the store is going to be. I think it's just the online store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Critical Role cast for the D&D cartoon, that'd be awesome. Will there be a possibility of other fish-shaped ships? I like where they're going with that.
I think they're asking about Spelljammer.
Will you guys be posting any of the music from the Stream of Many Eyes? It was so great, and I would love to use it.
Yeah, you know what? I've gotten that question a bunch. We talked briefly with Jason Charles Miller, who did a lot of those songs with the Sirens of the Realms. I think that's the music that they're referring to.
Is it?
Yeah, and so we were thinking about either doing a music video kind of stuff on YouTube so people can listen to it there, or figuring out how to get it onto iTunes and actually.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did really get some good audio. I mean, you got in there and we spent some time when no one else was in the Field of Triumph recording.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah,
Got
we
some
did it
really
on
clean
Thursday.
audio, so that was nice. So yeah, you guys probably can do some stuff. So that's on the note list. That's on the stuff to look
Yeah,
at.
it's in the works.
Okay, other questions. Will you guys have anyone out at Gen Con? That is a great question, and I never know the answer.
I don't think anybody from the Mike's team is going, that I know of.
And the reason I never know is because they don't tell me.
Well, I had to ask this time around.
Any plans for official minis of characters from Dice Camera Action or Dark and Dicey? We are looking into official characters from Dice Camera Action, but not Dark and Dicey yet. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the laptop over here.
Yeah, I was wondering why you got that. That's not good posture, man. It can hurt your back.
I know. Funko Pop Vinyls when? I don't know. That pains me. We're not going to get into that. Please don't ask.
Oh, is that Gershman asking?
Was it Gershman? He loves it. What is FLGS? Favorite local game store? Someone said. I always call it friendly local game store, but I think that it's tomato.
Funky local game store.
Funky. Alternate covers for adventures. Capcom collab, except like Monster Hunter crossed with D&D.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
I never played Monster Hunter. Have you played it?
No, but Sean.
Sean Wood?
Yeah, he played a ton. That's a good one. And I know a lot of the folks at Capcom. That'd be interesting. Question, will any of you be at PAX Unplugged? So on the actual cons, I don't know who's going where yet and what and everything. I do know that it's the second half of the year, so we probably need to sync that up soon. But we'll probably do that on Dragon Talk or Dragon Plus or D&D News. So that's where we'll get into the kind of the second half of the year.
Yeah.
We got to get Jeremy back from his castle in Europe, and we got to get Kate back from vacation, and Mike, and just kind of make sure that we've got a good roster of who's going where and everywhere. I do know that we are talking a lot with Twitch about having a pretty noticeable presence at TwitchCon. So we kind of, that's one of the ones at the end of the year. And then also Alex Kramer's Gamehole Con? Camer. Alex Kammer's Gamehole Con. We got, I think, half my staff there, actually. I'm not going, and now I'm starting to question why, because there's not going to be anyone in the office. Like, everyone's gone.
It's true, yeah. But Alex is going to be on Dragon Talk on Monday. Yes. Yeah, so you get to hear about what's happening with Gamehole Con. He's also part owner of True Dungeon. So yeah, we're going to talk all about that stuff.
And he's also one of the largest collector of...
I know, that's really what I want to ask him.
Shrink-wrapped stuff.
When he posts the pictures of modules from back in the day, it's like going down memory lane and/or archaeology digs to find that stuff. It's great.
Season 8 changes for the Adventurers League and how the AO. I cannot, but you know what? I will have Chris Lindsay on here soon and do that. One of the questions about official Dice Camera Action merch. And what I'll say about that is we have designs in the works, and we're going to try and get stuff out sooner, but worst case scenario, we'll have some merch by TwitchCon. Whether it's for buying or giving away, I mean, that's kind of TBD.
We'll have some suboptimal merch around that time.
And then question from Axis, and the reason that Axis of Anarchy asked this question is because they live in Columbus, Ohio, so any chance that Nathan will ever be at Origins Game Fair? And I can say a good firm maybe. I will tell you that the chances are probably better that I will go to a Game Hole Con, which I know is not in Columbus, Ohio, before I go to Origins. But I have a really good reason, and I don't want you to think that it's just because I'm a jerk. It's because my daughter's birthday is around the same time as Origins every year. And so,
what better Christmas or birthday gift than
take her to Origins?
Yeah, come to sunny Ohio.
Hey, when she gets a little older and actually wants to go play games for a weekend, we'll do that.
Yeah.
But until then, it's probably going to be a while. Question, any updates on Force Grey Season 3? No, trying to lock in all the final details on that. Soon I'm losing my cast, so that's a challenge. And then, wait. What was that about Game Hole Con? Game Hole Con, there's going to be tons of D&D designers there. Tons of stuff going on at Game Hole Con. Wow, we're 10 minutes over.
We are.
Do we have anything that we're running into?
You're good.
No. Okay, so let's do
My D&D game with Mike Morales, but...
Can we do a quick vote? Is there a way to do a vote on here? Or no, just raffles. Okay, show of hands. How many people want to go an extra 10 or 15 minutes? No one.
There's a delay. I don't know.
Wow.
Show of hands. Everybody's going to wave. They're like, nah, we're good. Unless they got some really good questions. That's the thing.
Okay.
Get to the heart of the matter. Put Nathan on the spot. This is your chance.
Okay, I feel like we got some yeses. Okay. Whew.
That was close.
Okay.
We have the best fans.
Where's your fan?
I know, I left it at my desk. I should have had it.
All right, so let's do some more questions. I'm not announcing Eberron. That would not be my job.
That's not a question. Or was that the question? Are you announcing it?
No, it said only if you announce Eberron.
Oh, okay.
So they only want to go 10 or 15 more minutes if we announce
If
Eberron.
at the end of that 10 minutes, Keith Baker suddenly appears.
Yeah, that really was awkward for a moment there. Veraxilus, that good name. Yeah, because it was like, hey, show of hands, and then it was just like nothing.
Nothing for a long time.
No validation.
Yeah.
No validation there.
By the way, Veraxilus,
I think so.
that's going to be the name of a dragon in the next D&D campaign I do.
Okay, it's Burning Hands time. Question, any plans for abridged rules for players with developmental delays? What does that mean?
So that's another way of saying, or what people used to describe as learning disabilities. I guess a streamlined or a version of the game that is able to be parsed a little bit easier, I guess, is the question.
So we would have to find an expert to work with to
Right.
make sure we're doing the thing. So we don't have the staff that necessarily would know how to do that per se, but we are looking to try and make the game more accessible, which reminds me, I totally owe the gal over at Dots a response because we're talking to those guys on Braille Dice and how to do some more stuff for the vision impaired, where that has branched into talking to other groups about how to do stuff for folks with other disabilities. So this year I think is going to be a lot of learning, or the rest of this year is going to be a lot of learning and connecting us with experts in the field to help us do the thing. And I would say that next year you would see us come out with some announcements or some stuff to share on more accessible options for D&D. It's not going to be fast enough. We're definitely not going to get to all the things that you guys would want. It's going to be kind of a partial, like, where's the biggest need, where's the biggest opportunity, how many experts do we have in our kind of close ranks that can help us with that. But we will try and do the best job that we can to make it more accessible for folks, and just bear with us in terms of if the speed isn't fast enough.
Yeah, we definitely is all about collecting expert opinions on that and making sure that
because we're not the best.
You can't just do it willy-nilly.
Yeah,
you have to know exactly how.
We're good storytellers, obviously good game design stuff, but then we need to work with the people that know how to do that. We don't
It's
just
the same with our work with educators too.
Yeah.
Of trying to figure out how to find the best way to move forward that way.
Yeah. That's kind of our approach to everything, right? I mean, even like on the minis and stuff, we used to make minis. WizKids actually makes the pre-painted ones, better, cheaper, faster.
Yeah.
Any advice for how to get involved with RPGs and gaming as a career? This is a nice plug for DM's Guild.
That's right. Yeah, that's an easy way.
So I know that we have had at least 4, maybe 5 people in the last year or two that have gotten paying gigs from Wizards to work on products because of their work that they put on DM's Guild. So that's definitely a real way.
Yeah, and the Dungeon Masters Guild, in case you don't know, is a marketplace that's run by our friends at One Bookshelf, and it is a way for you to use the D&D IP as well as our rule settings to develop your own thing and put it up for sale or for a minimal price. And we watch all of the stuff that gets up there, the things that kind of rise to the top. The designers here are always talking about new products they see or things like that. So that is definitely where to cut your teeth. It's not, there's a lot of learnings. There's a lot of people who have been doing it for longer. So I would look into folks like Sly Flourish and Teos AlphaStream, who we mentioned a couple of times, has got a bunch of stuff up there. So yeah, look at the ones that have risen and try to see if you can add your own little touch of something that isn't anywhere else, right? Like that's what's kind of interesting about what the Dungeon Master Guild is it's stuff that might be outside the box or your own specific brand of creativity in the Dungeon Master realm, and that's the way for us to notice it and get it out there.
And Fliffy Kitty, I think, has a follow-up question, which is, can you write adventures set in the Forgotten Realms or reference Forgotten Realms IP? That is the beauty of the DM's Guild. There is the rules for how to actually use the Forgotten Realms, proper nouns and trademarks and places and stuff. So yes, you can write FR adventures on the DM's Guild and sell
including
them, give them
Barovia.
away.
It doesn't necessarily have to be Forgotten Realms. It can also be Barovia.
There's rules on there just in terms of that. Here's a question from Inu Table 1. Will Matt Mercer's setting ever become an official end setting?
Tal'Darai? It's probably, D&D probably got auto-corrected
to END?
That happens to me all the time when I'm doing hashtags and stuff.
Will it ever be an official end setting? Yes. Once we go to Matt Mercer's world, it's over.
D&D
That's
is
the
done.
end.
Matt Mercer destroyed D&D.
Well, I have a question about that question.
A follow-up question.
Is Matt Mercer's setting a setting, or is it multiple settings? Because there's Tal'Dorei, which the folks at Green Ronin put out like a Tal'Dorei setting book on, right?
Yeah.
But they're not in Tal'Dorei right now.
It's kind of like Kryn, right? Where it's a well, no, I guess Kryn is the world, but there was continents on the world of Kryn, right? And I think it's the same with Matt's setting, right? There's continents.
So like Faerun is the continent that we usually play in, mostly in Forgotten Realms or in Toril. But there's other continents.
and Tether are the two planets. Yeah.
Tal'Dorei is a continent. Exandria is the world. So I think the bigger question there is, is there a Exandria master setting book that he could even do? That'd be
more
cool.
importantly, how could you get from the Forgotten Realms to that one?
Ed Greenwood's kitchen in Toronto.
Oh, see, I was going to go with a fish-shaped ship.
Oh, that would be a good way. Yeah. So I can't speak to that one. You should definitely hit up Matt Mercer on that. But we love Mercer. We love the folks at Critical Role. And his worlds are cool. We bring him in a lot to do creative consulting with us, so he gets to chime in on a lot of the things we're doing. We definitely value them and him as a storyteller.
And James Hake worked both on the Tal'Darai setting that Green Ronin published, as well as Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So there's other cross connections going on there as well.
Yes. Question: Spelljammer confirmed. I don't think that's
that's not really a question. But yes.
Question: how much blood are you willing to give for the betrayal you've committed today? I don't understand that one, but I'm scared. Can WotC, Kobold Press, and Curse play nice and get the Tome of Beasts on D&D Beyond? I don't know. I feel like that one's kind of couched in some venom there. Can we play nice? Are we not playing nice now?
Yeah. I mean, that's a you question more than anything else. I can't speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're getting at there is that Kobold Press has an SRD or a D20 product out there that's not ours. Curse is the official D&D platform for Wizards of the Coast 5e content. So, if they were going to try and do something with Kobold Press, it's a whole big weird world, so it kind of doesn't really fit into the arrangement. It opens up a lot of questions, a lot of challenges.
Because then when would it stop, right?
If it's not an easy thing, and you say Tome of Beasts, and then someone says, well, what about my product? What about this? So the intention is we've got Dungeon Masters Guild for official WotC ordained fan stuff. What Kobold Press did, I think, is outside that, because I think it's D20 stuff. I think they've published a book separately and not on Dungeon Masters Guild. I might be wrong on that one.
No, they did. They kickstarted it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that would but that's not part of our agreement with D&D Beyond. We don't own that book. We don't own Kobold Press. We don't have anything there. and D&D Beyond is not set up to be, unofficial D&D stuff.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one. I mean, you could talk about a promotional, but I don't think that would work for Kobold Press. D&D question, is the movie in the works? Yes, the movie is in the works. I will tell you that I go down to Los Angeles quite a lot. When I'm there, it's usually driven by some kind of meeting with our partners at Allspark and Paramount. And Chris Perkins gets dragged down there. Liz Shue gets dragged down there.
Mr. Merles as well.
Mr. Merles, yeah. So yes, everything is in the works. We are working hard behind the scenes on your big and small entertainment. And I just don't have any information on it. Those things take a long time. You never know, where it is. But the stuff is 100% in the works.
If you think we could spoil our stuff, that's one thing. But we definitely can't spoil other people's stuff.
Well, I might spoil that one.
You might.
But I would wait, because it's so unknown. It's such a moving parts. I mean, we had a movie in the works with Warner Brothers, and then we're not working with Warner Brothers now, and now we're with Paramount. So much stuff changes that I think I'd need to, it'd have to be like when we were in production that maybe I spoiled something, whatnot. So, hint, we're not in production.
We know way more about the movie business now.
We do. We've been learning.
That's what we know.
Currently, there are no SRDs for translated versions of D&D. Any plans for that?
That's a good question.
So that is Schneeland. Schneeland, you know what? That is an outstanding question. That is also going to go on the list. I don't think that it will be an OGL kind of thing. I think it'll be a Dungeon Masters Guild type thing. I think it'll be where maybe we try to find a translated version of SRD materials for the DMs Guild. So that's cool, and we're definitely going to look in that.
Oh, I like that, right? And then having a section on the Dungeon Masters Guild that was for different languages.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, or a tag even. So
where you pick your language, right?
Yeah, I like that.
If I give you my PIN number to my bank account, will you spoil a new book in 2019? Nope, because
we know there's nothing in your account.
Also, it's not worth it. Okay.
I mean, you gotta.
That's
what I would do if I were you guys.
Let's take like 2 or 3 more questions and then let's get going. But due to VAT shipping, they're my only choice here. Amazon special editions. Yeah, Tito did call you out. Yeah. All right. So, are there any images that I gave you that we did not share? That was it, right? I didn't mock up any images of Tito.
Wait, what?
No. Okay. Yeah, I know. It would be pretty easy.
Don't go onto the Facebooks.
Yeah. What's my favorite special edition cover?
Out of the ones we've done?
Yeah, I assume they mean an official special edition cover. So, like, if you were asking, like, which ones are official that have been done that are definitely going to come out, I don't know. I couldn't answer. I mean, King Schnurr is one of my favorites. I really like anything with him on the special edition alt cover, but that's just what I'm saying.
Can I answer that? Because my favorite.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is Volo's Guide to Monsters. It really is. There was something about that.
The original, the classic.
The alternate cover, the one that.
No, I know, but the one that started the alt covers.
Right. Yeah, because there was something about that one that just spoke to me. Maybe because I'm a mind flayer at heart.
Yeah. I agree. You are a mind flayer at heart. Nerd immersion question: any plans for original campaign settings? I can answer this pretty straightforward and honestly. I don't think there's any plans for like new original campaign settings for the near future because we still have so much stuff that we haven't really explored in a meaningful way. One of the great and terrible things about D&D is that for the last 43, 44 years, there's been tons of amazing content that's been put out there, but sometimes it was quick, sometimes it was dip in and get out. And the amount of kind of world building and development on some of those has been sparse on some things. So there is so much content and so many worlds that are quote unquote not original that have already been in the D&D world that we haven't really tapped into to the full extent. That there is no way that I'm letting Chris and Richard and Jeremy and Mike
do a whole another
new thing until we've really leaned into the thing. I really believe in the power of the brand and what we already have, and I really want to see things brought to their full potential before we start creating new stuff. And that's not because I don't like new stuff. That's just because I think that these things are so loved and so wonderful that I want to see them brought like to their full possibility.
Right,
and,
right.
You know, you just can't do it all.
But I also really like that, I mean, every homebrew setting out there is its own original setting, right? Like, I think that is something that is, we want to continue to encourage, right? Like that, you know, if someone comes up with something that is above and beyond and amazing and puts it up on Dungeon Masters Guild or is part of their streaming show that all of a sudden becomes a big hit, like that's something that's more exciting to me than us coming up with something, you know, a whole cloth.
Yeah.
Right? Like having something organically come from the community.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So, all right, I'm going to answer the last question, and then we will get going. And the last question that I'm going to answer is, said, how long since Pelham, Greg, Nathan, how long since you all have rolled the dice and played? So let's answer separately. Pelham, when's the last time you played some D&D? And Dungeon doesn't count. I know you guys played Dungeon yesterday.
We did play Dungeon yesterday.
Before the stream Many Eyes, the last time you ran Adamanting Chef.
Oh,
yeah, you got to finish that.
I know, we got to finish that. So that's your last time. When's your last time?
Oh gosh, I played with my girls a couple weeks ago, right? Yeah, we played. It wasn't for a long time. I think it was only like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But we played a little bit with that.
Yeah, I am probably 2 weeks out, and mainly because we went camping, went off the grid, and we didn't. I was going to bring D&D stuff there, but we weren't sure if everyone would be into it there. And then my daughter had her birthday, as I mentioned, and stuff. So I'm in about 2 weeks. I'm not in an ongoing game right now. I've got like 4 different groups that we've got kind of partial games that we need to finish on. Mm-hmm. I'm running one group with Pelham and Greg and Shelly and Ari and Liz and Bart, and that one we're coming to the climactic finish of Alpha Stream's Adamantine Chef. So that we're just waiting till we're all in the room again. Mm-hmm. The last time you and I played together, I think, was like a month or 2 ago, and it was when we had our wives play for the first time.
I don't want to, ruin your concept of time, but that was like 3 months ago.
Oh,
because it was about 2 months before the stream of Many Eyes. Yeah. And it was actually, we played, I don't know if you didn't know it at the time, but you played a prototype of the puzzle of the off-the-table bar session the Yawning Portal.
That's right.
That was written by, the puzzle was written by Elisa Teague. Yeah. So that was fantastic. And yeah, my wife really dug your dungeon mastering style.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
she was into it.
So the real answer is we need to play again soon.
Can I spoil something real quick?
You can spoil whatever you want.
Yeah, because I might be doing another stream of a Dungeons and Dragons game here on this channel this month.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Is it related to Acquisitions Inc.?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not.
What is it related to?
I think it's going to be Waterdeep related. I don't know. I'm still recruiting.
Very
players.
excited. Very excited.
We're doing it. We had a in this room. We had a setup for how we might be able to play.
Oh, did you figure it out in here?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be challenging.
It's going to be challenging, but I think we can do it. It'll be a little bit more casual. It might have kind of smaller, kind of Force Grey style things, but maybe me as a dungeon master. Nice. With a little bit of a higher dusk type situation. But yeah, no, we're going to do it hopefully here in the next few weeks.
So the real answer to your question is it's been too long. So,
that's always true.
But I probably, I don't know if I'm going to get any gaming in this weekend, but if not, then next week for sure. And then one of the reasons that I love going down to San Diego Comic-Con is because so many friends down there means there's going to be plenty of time to play.
That's why you're doing this.
That's exactly why. I'm actually getting the owner of Bait to let me have the store after hours on Friday just to play some D&D because I've got so many friends down at Comic-Con to play with. So maybe Todd James, because he'll definitely get in play. Maybe Ryan from, who does the, why am I blanking on the name? The big MOBA. What's everyone's favorite about MOBA? Riot.
Yes, Riot Games.
Yeah, Ryan's the story guy over at Riot.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's fun to play with. We played in some games. So, yeah, so it's been too long. Okay, and then, Pelham, if we can end over here, if we can shoot over here, I saw one more question, which is can you flash those postcards again?
Really good-looking postcards.
That's a nice postcard. Oh, that one's menacing. And that one, oh, lovely.
They seem to match up with the key figure on each of the core rule books, don't they?
All right, so everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, July 23rd, there's going to be some major announcements. And then also remember, 10 days from now.
That's right. Some minor announcements.
What's 10 days from now? I forgot.
The 16th.
What are we announcing?
Well, I'm just going to announce it right now. It is...
Nice. Okay, so that's on the 16th. Pelham, edit that out in post.
we'll put in something else.
And then I think there's even some minor spoilers happening sooner than that. There's some stuff coming up, so there's going to be more stuff. So follow us. Follow Wizards _D&D. Follow Mr. Greg Tito. Follow Nathan B. Stewart on the Twitter. And I can't help spoiling stuff because I love it. It's fun. I love you guys because we've got the greatest community on the planet. And I know this because all the fans that I met at Stream of Many Eyes were great and amazing. And you guys actually bring me tons of joy. And I'll tell you a personal story. The folks from Rivals of Waterdeep, this was their first big introduction into the D&D world, and I think they were a little nervous. I think they were a little nervous about what the reception was going to be like, and whether there was going to be, I'm just going to say, any kind of trolling or anything like that. And they were literally almost crying with joy how wonderful the D&D community was at accepting them, how much fun everyone was to play with, how much fun they had hanging out. We hung out with them at the stream. We hung out with them at the hotel later. Just talked the whole time. And just the joy that this new group came in made me feel so proud because I know that this is actually one of the best gaming communities in the world. And so that's known, but I don't think that everyone else has experienced that. And so getting to see that firsthand with people who are coming in a little apprehensive, it made me feel like a proud papa, and it also just made me remember that people love playing D&D and love getting together with this because it brings friends together and it forms these really great memories. And I have now new great memories with them.
Yeah. And can I get a little bit corny because I feel like the community starts at the top. It starts at someone like you, Nathan, who can bring together all these people and have that kind of positivity and have it be all about the story and the fun and everybody getting together. That doesn't always happen from a leader of a gaming group like this. So I think it sends a lot to you.
Well, I will tell you one thing. First of all, thank you. It's a very nice compliment. And I will tell you one thing. I take my role as steward, not Stuart, steward of the brand very seriously. And so there's been many, many people that have come before us that have formed the foundation for this hobby and for this community. And I think that they are amazing. And I feel like I would be doing a really great dishonor to the brand and to what's been built if we didn't try to make it the very best thing that we could. So right. I kind of feel like, it's a very nice compliment you said, but I kind of feel like if I was doing anything less, I'd be, kind of embarrassing the post.
It's true. So, yeah. So you're wearing that mantle well.
That's my hope. All right. Thank you, everyone. Sorry we rambled on so long. I just thought there was a lot of stuff. I thought it was a lot of fun stuff. So thank you. Also, I saw Axis and Obo in there doing some moderating. Thank you for any of our moderators in there.
Mucho thanks.
Axis of Anarchy, I hope you got into the games at Origins. I tried to pull some strings so that you were set up there because we really do appreciate all of our fans and on all of our moderators and all the folks who are contributing on Twitch. You guys are awesome. And hit me up on the Twitter. I try to be on there a lot. I try to answer questions. I try to make sure that all of us have a direct tie to the fans. I want to make sure that we're listening. As you guys know, I won't always say everything. I won't always spoil everything. But we'll be pretty straightforward and open when we can, and definitely tell you if it's just something we can't say. So tune in more. Tune in to Greg's D&D news and D&D Dragon Talk and everything. And by the way, this is a last-minute spoiler. I forgot to say this. Bart told me that I can do a Dungeons and Doodles from San Diego Comic-Con.
Whoa, so that's the place to do it. All the comic book artists.
Yeah. So we'll publish more next week about what the breakdown's going to be. But he told me that I could steal some of his glory and do a Dungeons and Doodles there if I get some cool artists from Comic-Con.
Hey, artists who are going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, hit Nathan up.
Hit me up.
At D&D fans. Let's make that happen. That's fun.
All right. That's done. I think we're done talking.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Pelham, are we out? We're out. 5, 4, 3.
I think we're already out.
Are we out?